love macrame, love Christmas. We're gonna bring those two together to make a DIY star snowflake ornament to brighten up your Christmas tree. Here, and in today's tutorial we are going to be making a star snowflake ornament for your Christmas tree. This is a fairly simple pattern made with double half hitch knots. It's simple in that you only have to make one section of the unique pattern and then you just repeat it all the way across the ring to form the snowflake. Although the double half hitch knot is a basic macrame knot, it is one of those knots that's harder to grasp at first. So if you're not too familiar with it, that's okay. I will be walking you through step by step in this video, so you should be able to follow along. All you need to do is grab some sparkly cords, some 2-inch rings, and we're ready to go get started. So this is an up-close view of what the pattern looks like. It's sort of shaped like a star, but also looks like a snowflake. So I'm calling this a star flake. Now to close off each corner without fringe, I did tie some knots at the back, and I also weave some cords through the back of the pattern. So you don't have to use glue for this pattern if you don't want to, but you'll notice that once you cut off the ends, they will tend to stick out. So if you don't mind having some cord ends sticking out at the back, then you don't need to use glue. But even with those ends that I tied double overhand knots at the back here, I still dabbed a bit of glue to keep the ends from sticking out on the sides. So for this pattern, I will be using a wooden ring. This one's quite thick. I'll show you how thick it is. It is approximately 1 centimeter in thickness. Yeah. And then the total diameter, I'll go from outside to outside, is 2 inches. So it's a 2-inch ring at 1 centimeter thickness. Now the cord I'll be using is part of our new line of cords. So the one that I just showed you was made with our natural and silver metallics single strand cord. The one that I'll be using to demonstrate in this particular video, I'll be using this natural plus rose gold metallic single strand cord. Both of these are 3mm. We do carry both of these colors in 3mm and 4mm. If you guys are interested in these cords, I'll link them and also tag them below. Or you can head on over to BOCHIKNOT.com and shop from there. This cord is a little bit harder to work with as beginners because the tinsel does separate from the cotton fairly easily. So I'll give you some tips while making this pattern on how to best use this cord if you are using this cord for any of your ornament patterns, or in particular this pattern. I'll be using a macrame board to make this pattern. Feel free to use tape and just a stable surface like a desk if you don't have a corkboard with pins. So to begin, we are going to take 3 strands of cord. Oh, and all of them are at 45 centimeters long each, which equates to approximately 18 inches each. So taking the first strand, we're actually gonna measure one end to 18 centimeters. So at the 18 centimeter mark, we're just gonna fold it over. Like it's so, and we're just gonna place it down like this. You can see, that this end is shorter than this end because this end is 18 centimeters long. And we're going to take a second strand of cord and we're going to mimic the same thing but on the opposite side. So on the left end, I'm just going to match it closer. So match this end to the top. The bottom ends should match too. So once you have that, this is how we're going to attach it onto the ring. So taking the right side, go underneath, take the ends in through the loop for a reverse lark's head knot. Now you see the shorter end, longer end. And then you take the left end, bring it through on the left side, same thing with a reverse lark's head knot. Now in the middle, we're going to take our third strand, 45 centimeter long cord. We're actually just going to fold this one in half and then attach it onto the ring with a reverse lark's head knot. So once we're done attaching all three, we're going to push them together. And now we're ready to get started on knotting. So I'm going to walk you through step by step on one side of the pattern, and then you're going to repeat it 4 more times for 5 total sections, and then we'll come back to finish the 6th last section. So to begin, what we're going to do is take the inner, so the second cord from the left and right. I'm going to start on the left side first. Take the middle left cord as a working cord for a diagonal double half hitch knot to the right. So you see that the tinsel isn't really separating out right now, but if you find that your tinsel is separating from the strand as soon as you cut them, you can just tie a little overhand knot at the end to prevent it from unraveling it too soon. You can always untie the ends at the very end once you're done. Okay, so now going from the second cord from the right as an anchor cord, middle right cord as a working cord for a diagonal double half hitch knot to the left. Then with the middle 2 cords, make a diagonal double half hitch knot to the left. So what we have done here is a mini V-shaped pattern. So we're going to now take the outer cords and pretty much repeat the same thing, but with an extra double half hitch knot on both sides. So starting on the right side, make a double half hitch knot to the left. And then once we're done this first double half hitch knot, you might see a little gap. Just pull on the anchor cord to shift the knot up to get rid of that spacing, and then continue with the second double half hitch knot. Then on the left side, same thing, make a double half hitch knot to the right, and then slide it. Take the next cord down for a double half hitch knot. And then with the middle 2 cords, make one more diagonal double half hitch knot to the left. So now what we're going to do is finish off one more section at the end. To do this, we're going to take the middle left cord as an anchor cord, then underneath bring over the next cord on the left as a working cord for a double half hitch knot to the left. So continuing on the same anchor cord here, make a diagonal double half hitch knot to the left, then bring the anchor cord over to the right for a diagonal double half hitch knot to the right. And then we're done on the left side. Repeat the same thing on the right side, mirroring what we just did. So make a diagonal double half hitch knot to the right first. And then bring the anchor cord over to the left for a double half hitch knot. Now you should have just the right amount of cord. If that overhand knot is taking up too much space, you can untie it for now. Might be a little hard because you can see the ends are starting to separate, but if you gather the cords by twisting it, just finishing the last half hitch knot of this double half hitch knot, you should be able to bring it all through like this. Okay, and then last but not least, with the middle two cords, we're going to make one more diagonal double half hitch knot to the left. So over, through the right, sorry, I'm just trying to grab all the tinsel. I'm just going to twist this one so it doesn't get confusing. Okay, so over, through the right, like this, and then over and through the right, like this, and the knotted pattern is now complete. We're going to wait till the very end when all the sides are done before we tuck them in at the back. But essentially what you're going to do is repeat this 4 more times all around. You're going to have space for 1 more, and we'll get to that at the very end. So just make 4 more of these for now on the sides. Once we're done with the 5 separate sections, if you haven't done so already, it's good to push these sections close together to make enough room so that we can fit the last and 6th section. So what we're going to do a little differently with the last section is that we're going to use slightly longer cords for the outer sections. So I'm going to start off with our regular 45 centimeter long cord in the middle, fold it in half. Attach it with a reverse lopsided knot. And then what we're going to do is with 2 55 centimeter long cords, instead of measuring the outer end to 18 centimeter, we're just going to fold the cord in half and then attach it to the right and left sides with reverse lopsided knots. So we're using slightly longer cords and we're folding them in half. Okay, so now we have our 6 strands of cord here. Starting out the pattern the exact same way, we're going to make a small V, and then we're going to make a large V on the outside. Then I'm just doing this really fast. If you want a slowed down version, you can rewind back to when I showed you the very first section. And then now we're going to make the little, what I call daisy pattern underneath. Okay. And then once you're done, you should have 2 longer cords here, and this will form your handle for the ornament. So we're going to start off with that first before we start cleaning up the pattern at the back. With the 2 longer cord ends, tie an overhand knot, and you can tie it so that you have a nice long handle, and then cut off the excess if you want. Then at the back, we're going to start by cleaning the bottom section of each snowflake petal. So to do that, we're going to work with these side sections first, so the cords here. Using a crochet hook, this part you don't really need glue. We're just going to weave the crochet hook through one of the double half hitch knot loops at the back, just the one right beside it, and then we're going to grab the cord to bring it through. Now this should be fairly easy to do with either a crochet hook or weaving needle. Okay, so now that we've done it on the one side, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Oh, I didn't actually pull that one through. Then once they're through on both sides and they're facing the middle, we can snip off the excess. And then you can see once you turn it back around that the bottom here is nice and clean. So we're going to repeat that for all of the bottom sections all around. So once all of the bottom cords are tucked nicely at the back, we're now going to clean up the ends of the daisy. Now the easiest way to do this is to just cut all the ends and just dab a bit of glue on each of the ends where the cord ends are. If you don't want to use glue, what you can do is you can take the middle 2 cords down at the back, and then with the cord ends on the side, you can tie a double overhand knot, like so. Now, this is what it would look like at the back. So it's okay, it's still clean, but the ends you'd either have to trim it off or dab a bit of glue underneath and then trim the rest of the ends off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off the ends and just dab a bit of glue on each end. So taking this end, for example, I'm gonna get pretty close. Now you can still see a little bit, which is okay. Then I'm gonna take my glue gun, sealed, and they don't come undone. Especially this one. Dab a bit of glue. So the ends Okay, so we have a corner that's nice and neat. Now you just have to repeat it for the remaining ends. Of course, except for that handle here, you will just need to cut those two and glue those ends. Once all cleaned up, this is what the pattern looks like. Nice and clean at the back and also at the front. And there you have it with our star snowflake ornament tutorial. I hope you guys had fun with this one, along with all of the other tutorials that we have been releasing in our Christmas holiday series for 2024. In case you guys missed any of the previous tutorials, make sure you check out our Christmas playlist to catch up on any videos that you may have missed. For more intricate designs like this 3D layered Christmas tree, you may want to check out our exclusive community over on Patreon, where we go over some more intermediate level Christmas holiday projects. If you're interested, head on over to patreon.com/BOCHIKNOT for more details. Have fun knotting, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.